Hey everybody, good morning. This is Geebz here, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge. Happy Monday to you, though for some of you it's already halfway over by the time I get out of bed here, Hawaii time. But I wanted to start off with some good, solid, powerful energy from Coheed and Cambria, which came from my Patreon list. And I want to thank all my Patreon supporters, of course. Don't forget to check out the links down below too if you want to check out what's going on Patreon. The album that it's coming off of is, I guess, their latest album, well, 2022, Vaxis to a Window of the Waking Mind. So, and the track, what are we doing today? We are doing Bad Man. So, I look forward to that. All right, guys, let's do this. This is from Coheed and Cambria. The track is Bad Man. All right. Okay, gotta admit, that first 40 some odd seconds kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But, you know, Coheed and Cambria are obviously, I've only listened, I think, to 5 or 6 tracks of theirs, you know, kind of all spread out through the couple of years. But they're one of those kind of bands that you can expect just about anything and they still bring the heat at one place or another, like they just did in The Hook. In it to a minute to win it. You guys know what that means with me. If not, that just means that they were in The Hook within a minute, kind of the pop culture song construction formula. I really love, you know, the opening that caught me off guard is that auto tune. There is just no two ways about it. His voice definitely doesn't need auto tune, but engineers will use that as a technique to get that sound out of the voice as a purposeful part of the arrangement. And even though the answer back had the auto tune and stuff, I loved how that opened up with, at least with the synth thing. I've been, since my other channel, my video game OST review channel and stuff, a lot of synthy stuff happens on there, and so I'm pinning a little keener eye on that. And I like how they had that really just the bass and a little melody was in the pocket. His voice actually had some stereo ambiance in it, and then as it grew and as this arrangement grew, they finally hit us in the head with a little bit of a punchy guitar track. But let's continue.
Go on calling for your mother. Good boy follows all the rules. Oh, what you got to prove when you're well beyond your use? Never felt so much alive as I do when I'm here with you. When you need a bad man, a bad mama, watch your mouth. Tell them twice about messing with you. You need a bad man, maybe a bad. Go on, call them out. Evil is as evil do. Better believe I'm in the mood.
Also, like now here in the second part of the verse, or in the second verse, the meandering kind of melodic solos that are going on with the guitars trading off. Obviously, he comes back in and vocals come in first and principal. Then you hear this guitar meandering in, but it's kind of got its own kind of stitch, if you would, melodic stitch that's going on, and how that's kind of almost like a lead piece. And then you have a secondary melody that actually a third level melody happening on this side where another guitar comes in. And that to me is that kind of like nice little bit of that like, I guess I'm going to use the word weave again. That nice weaving of interconnected melodies behind him singing was really sick. The drum sound on this, a good part of this track, I'd say 70% of this track was more of that synthy affected vibe. I think this was probably the most pop sounding track out of the 6, out of their giant discography that I've ever heard. So as I opened up my first stop by saying, you don't know what to expect here, this was really straightforward. The hook was really powerful. And it's funny enough because on the Patreon list, it's like number 9 out of 13. And this sounds like it probably, and maybe if this was targeted as maybe a single, I don't know. You guys tell me. But it looks like there's a lot of really nice tracks on here for me to dive into. You guys tell me which one's off of the Vaxxus 2 album that I should get into that has a different kind of edge or flavor. But once again, I just do want to lean in really quick before I dig out, is that at the very end, probably the last 16 bars, that lead guitar solo actually was very melodic in a hook way because it kept on repeating. I can't do it as high as the car, but da 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 da. So that whatever the guitar was playing on this side, it wasn't such a free flow, solo, meandering solo behind it, as much as it actually had a composed phrase to it that was repetitive. And those kind of things sink in because he's got such an incredible voice with such an incredible range, generally way up there, kind of that Geddy Lee kind of thing, that to compete with that, even in a separate tone as an electric guitar, you don't win against his voice. Plus it's his voice and it's the main core melody of the track. But the drums, though, the drums sounded great, but the drums, and the thing is also the crunch guitar behind the hooks, they were bold, but they were really kind of set back in the mix. Enough back in the mix that things like the shaker arrangement through that cut through it pretty well. So, if you logically, when you think of looking at a band, if you got guys powering with big amps and stuff, and then you get a little shaker, that's because obviously they wanted to pull back the power a little bit and make this track have a different kind of an appeal, on a general, listening level. Anyhow, that's it. Hope you had a great start to your day. For those of you who want to support me, with a cup of coffee, the links, Patreon, Twitch, having a blast playing Minecraft. I leave all the videos open to the public on that Twitch thing if you want to see me get blown up by creepers. It's freaking hilarious. I'm dying. I need an AED sometimes. I'm like, ah. All right, guys, take care. Have a killer day. See ya.